Welcome back, everyone, to the podcast. Welcome to those watching on YouTube, those listening everywhere. For now, we're going to call this thing Creativity Made Easy. Still wrapping up my first year of content, releasing some content every single week for you as you may be journeying through what the creative process looks like for you. So I wanted to take today and kind of explain a little bit more about this Creativity Made Easy idea. Look, I have a confession to make. I think too many creatives are overcomplicating the creative process, specifically when it comes to seeing it all the way through to the end. Like, we can be really great at ideas, right? We often get bored or lose direction or interest, and we quickly move on to the next shiny thing because, let's face it, it's way more fun to start things than it is to finish them. For example, musicians work for months on a new album, and by the time it debuts, they're sick of hearing those dreadful tracks on repeat in their brains, but they got to go out and tour to support album sales. A painter stares at a subject for so long that the lines become blurry, and she convinces herself that it's ugly. Paints over the beginnings of a masterpiece, then moves on to start with a new vision. A writer fills daily pages or a word quota to one day release their first book. But the mundane routine of having to return to the blank page has sucked the life out of him, and he ditches the project altogether, never seeing his dream come to fruition. But the reality is, there is no art without sticking through the process. And I love this quote from Jerry Seinfeld I heard recently. It's from an interview that he did a couple of years ago in 2021, I believe. He said that art is making order out of chaos. I love that. Art is making order out of chaos. And I think that if we are honest with ourselves, even though it feels counterintuitive to believe that statement, we understand that statement to be very, very true. We think that creativity is some magic formula that we must conjure up through a series of impromptu feelings or events, but we've got it all wrong. My good friend and coach, Stephen Brewster, always says that creativity is more muscle than magic. Listen, friends, creativity can be easy. It doesn't have to be so complicated, but you have to find a process that works for you and keeps you and your team accountable to see it all the way through to the end. I do believe that with the right tools and the right support and the right environment, you can make creativity achievable time and time again. The direction of my content on this platform, whether you're listening or watching on YouTube, the direction of the content of this podcast from now on is going to be dedicated solely to helping you do that, to helping you find the sweet spot for you and or your team to create your best work. So I want to create some beautiful things together. And so if you're listening to this and you're like, man, that sounds really awesome, I would love to know more about how I can do that. I would encourage you to reach out to me, DustinP.com. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see that pop up on your screen right now. But go to DustinP.com and click the Let's Chat button. And let's talk through how I can help you. I've got a couple of clients right now, and I've got some space for just a few more that I would love to be able to help as much as I'm helping them understand and refine their creative process so that they're unleashed to do their best work ever. So go to DustinP.com, click on the Let's Talk button, and let's make some beautiful things together. I'm so very excited for this new season. Just in transparency, I don't know what all it's going to look like, but I do know that I'm committed to bringing you weekly encouragement as we move forward in this journey together. Creativity can be easy. Let's stop overcomplicating it. Let me help you. Schedule a call. Let's get on the phone together and see how we can make this thing easier and work for you, not against you. Thank y'all so much for listening and subscribing, and we'll encourage you to do that on whatever platform you're watching or listening to this on. Leave a 5-star review. All of that stuff really helps. I know it's a little bit shorter of an episode today, but I wanted to just give you an update as we come out of that Enneagram series, and I've kind of wrapped up that chapter of my content and the Enneagram world. And now we're going to move forward into this content on creative process and how we can make creativity work for you, not against you, and how you can create your best work ever. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you next time on Creativity Made Easy podcast.